Welcome to Let's Talk About Health, an informational podcast that gives you insights on health and fitness from experts themselves that you can apply directly to your own personal health and fitness stories. Come join me today to hear all about what they have to say on health and fitness.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to finally have you on this platform with me. Thank you so much for being a part of this talk show that I've been having for some time now. Thank you.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Bhavna. I'm excited to talk with you about music therapy and share the gifts of music with you.
Likewise. So today, let me just introduce you. I am so happy. Today we have with us Miss Ranjani Sukumaran. I'm sorry
That's okay.
if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I have been such a big fan of your work and of your therapy, and it's just been an honor to have you here and to speak with you, connect with you. Uh, Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
honored to be a part of your talk show and to be able to sing with you. And I hope we get to share a song together and inspire the audience that joins us today on this talk show.
Definitely. Talking about a song, I usually start by asking my favorite question about health. But today, the question can wait for the first time ever. But is it okay with you if we
Yeah,
start our show with a song?
definitely. Let's open it up.
Awesome.
How about You Are My Sunshine? Let's do You Are My Sunshine.
Okay. Yes.
A one, a two, a one. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know me how I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I could not have you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Valna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this. I'll let you just settle down, take off your guitar so it's not a lot on your shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's so great. It's so inspiring. It lifts our spirits and helps us to feel good. Ironically, with that song, it's all about losing a loved one. The other night, dear, when I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, so I hung my head and cried. Very sad words for the second verse. But the first verse is very inspiring. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. So, yeah, something to think about. That actually in music therapy, there's an intervention called lyric analysis, where clients and the therapist will analyze what the lyrics mean in the song and how it applies to them, and whether it might be something meaningful to drive them in their life.
that's beautiful. Thank you for that. You are truly gifted and talented with this art.
Thank you.
Well, I'll let you settle down, take the guitar off. And
All right, let's get to the interview questions.
perfect.
Okay.
Let's start with my favorite question. What is health according to you?
In my opinion, health is feeling at your optimal level and having the strength to accomplish your tasks and give back every day while being in balance with your body, mind, and soul.
So true. We always forget one component. We never focus on all the components at one time, and the day we start achieving that, we will truly be healthy.
Mhm.
Thank you for those words. That was an amazing answer. Can you tell me what inspired you to start music therapy, and how did you get in music therapy?
Definitely. My journey into music began with my grandpa, and my journey into music therapy began with my undergrad degree at UC Berkeley. So my grandpa was a great musician and teacher, and he sang and taught a lot of children back in India. I happen to be an Indian American music therapist. So he sang and taught a lot of people back in India, and he inspired me to want to study Indian classical music, both Carnatic and Hindustani. And then I also studied opera at UC Berkeley, and I also studied jazz and some other styles of music. And then in my master's degree, I studied music therapy. And it was some of my professors in my undergrad degree who also inspired me to go for that master's in music therapy. So many people have inspired me into the field of music therapy, and I'm very grateful to them.
That's awesome. Lovely to hear your background and
Yeah.
what inspired you to start, and you started inspiring so many people after. I am so I'm so happy to have you here, because a lot of my friends who are physical therapists and have a love for music, they have pure affinity towards music, singing. They have been telling me, when are you having a music therapist over? We want to see. And
Oh,
finally, today we have you here, and it's so amazing to have you here.
thank you so much. I'm honored to be a part of your group. And I know one PT, I worked with her in yoga because I'm also studying to be a yoga teacher. She loves music. She purchased one of my CDs. So shout out to that PT. But PTs are important, and we need more PTs to keep us at our optimal health.
Right, correct. I agree with you. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, about your undergrad, your graduation? How did that
Yeah.
look like?
I can tell you about my undergrad degree at UC Berkeley, my graduate degree at University of Kentucky, and my board certification. I sat for my exam in 2016 and became a board certified music therapist. I opened my own company, Healing and Wellness Music Therapy, around 2018, so it's been 4 or 5 years. And my company has been growing. It takes efforts, and it's not an easy process to advocate for yourself, advocate for your profession. But I think my website and my YouTube videos started drawing in different customers, and they started to reach out. And I also work with another company, and the employer through that company also advocates for my own business and my music therapy business. And so she lets me rent out that studio to work with some of my clients. So it's been a growing evolution process working with my own company and working with other music related people and building and growing in this field.
Right. Why did you choose to go in healing and wellness industry to begin with?
I think I choose to, I mean, I selected it, or did it select me? That's the better question. For me, it was like before opening my own company, I was working with hospice and seniors. And slowly that transitioned into wanting to work with children. And that's how I started opening Healing and Wellness, because children on the spectrum, their parents were contacting me and asking me for my services.
Right.
And so my business started to take precedence over working with hospice patients. No, I love working with hospice patients too. I was working with Vitas back in 2016, straight out of grad school. And that kind of took a pause, and my own business started to take priority, and working with children started to take more of a priority. And I love that, how it was a calling for me. I didn't necessarily choose it. It happened on its own flow.
That's awesome.
Thank
I
you.
am happy for your business, and I am very sure that you're gonna go amazing. The
Thank you.
world is yet to see what you have and how you
Oh,
help.
thank you so much. You're so sweet. And are you interested in opening your own business?
Sometime soon, someday, yes,
Wow, cool.
definitely. Like we
Wonderful.
were discussing earlier, if New York is right, how is it like the perfect state where you see yourself? So that is questionable for now. So I just want to go with the flow and right now this seems perfect. Maybe when I switch states, maybe then I would like to open my own practice, but definitely.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Great.
I do want an aspect of music therapy because music is very relaxing and it's magical, to be honest. So I do want that aspect in whatever practice I have.
Mm-hmm. Agreed, agreed. And I think it's exciting when different kinds of healthcare professionals collaborate. So this is a dream come true, but if you do open your practice in the future, maybe we can co-treat or collaborate together, especially if you're ever in California. It would be an honor and treat to meet you in person. So,
Likewise, I
oh,
can't wait to come at least visit you. But
oh,
yeah, it would be amazing if we happen to open our own practice and work together. It will actually be a dream come true. Just here, I have a lot of patients that we always put on music. The first thing we go in the clinic, we'll put on music. It just
yeah.
lights up like your song was such an amazing start to this
Oh,
session.
thank you so much.
I
Thank you.
cannot imagine any other way beginning this session. So that's what impact music has on our lives. So first thing we go put on some good music. We have patients. I see a lot of Spanish speaking patients, a lot of Spanish patients. So we usually tend to put Latin music, some salsa, some
Oh,
bachata.
beautiful.
Yeah, and they are so in the beats are so quick and fast, and I love when when I see and the patients are just swaying and they're dancing, and then I'm like, okay, I got it, and then
Yeah.
I'll go in, we'll start doing exercise with the music. It actually helps them do more exercise than we had planned.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's such a motivating force.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a theory that music helps to redirect from our perceived pain levels.
Yes.
So we may have a lot of perceived pain, but the moment we listen to music that's interesting to us, it can help us to redirect from that perceived pain. And it's amazing. Even songwriting is a great tool too. Not necessarily with movement, because you do a lot of movement exercises, but with reducing our pain levels. Because I have one 3.5-year-old, I've been working with her three or 4 months now. And one way to help her cope with her perceived pain levels was by songwriting together with the piano, just a simple song. And she really loved it. And then we did the next level to that song where we were able to overcome the pain and say, now I'm feeling better. So it was an evolution, a transformation through songwriting.
That's beautiful. It's Could you say it's similar to writing in a journal and that therapeutic effect that you have by just putting your ideas down on a notebook? Could you say the effects are pretty much similar?
So beautiful. And I advocate for journaling in my sessions. And journaling is very similar to writing poetry or writing a song. They all go hand in hand together.
Definitely. It's so exciting to hear so many new things because you think that about therapy, about your field, but the field is so evolving, it's so growing that we have to be humble towards each other's field and be so accepting that, okay, I can see music helping my patients. And like you said, you work with a few PTs, so it's really a dream true to work with people from different professional like yourself. And
Oh, thank you so much. Same with you. You're so wonderful to work with as well. And I'm excited to talk about music and music therapy with you and answer any questions. I know we wanted to talk about music as a tool of relaxation and stress relief, and also the topic of avoiding burnout. So if we can get to those questions at any point in the future, I'm down to answer those.
let's talk about music, the impact of music on stress release and how it affects us, take our stresses away.
Definitely, yeah. A lot of my clients, they come in with a lot of anxiety. They're
Right.
too stressed to even participate on a song. And when I work with them and build that trustworthy relationship and comfort them, maybe with a gentle touch or a gentle invitation to join me on the piano or join me on the uke or guitar, their relaxation comes in. That good mood starts to come in, and their stress levels immediately go down. Their pulse goes down, their blood pressure goes down. They start to feel calmer, they start to feel more peaceful. And by the end of the session, they're like, wow, I can't believe that was a music therapy session. It felt so good. I feel so confident.
Yes.
One particular client comes to my mind. He's a 22-year-old. Amazing work what he does, you know. So he came in and his mom shared about his anxiety levels. And then when I worked with him and helped to support his strengths and help him to thrive on the trumpet and other instruments that he's capable of playing, he was able to feel more relaxed and more stress relieved. And he would end up leaving with a smile on his face and like the coolest person in the world, like a celebrity. Like, I just did that. Now I can walk out of the session like a celebrity. So that's what I really love, advocating for a strengths-based approach and a stress relief and relaxation-based approach, because music does not need to be stressful, whether it's learning or playing or songwriting or improvising. None of it needs to be stressful, but sometimes we bring in our own anxieties and it causes us to live in our stress. And that's just too much, you know. I'm all about relaxing and decompressing with the music.
So true. Given our today's world, we're facing so many things, and looking at the generation that's coming up next, there's so much pressure on them, and I cannot imagine to even be in that generation, looking at the amount of pressure that they go through every single day. And it is so awesome to have people and such evolving fields. I know music therapy was not too long ago that it started and it's established as its own field, but it's so amazing to look at this field and how it's growing. It's helping with stress and anxiety. That's amazing.
Yeah, I would say that's probably my main approach. No matter what the condition or what the diagnosis is, one of my primary goals when I work with my kiddos is just to build that trustworthy bond and to make them feel relaxed and comfortable. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
What do you think about burnout?
Oh, yeah. What do I think about burnout? Burnout is a real thing. Okay. People are experiencing it left and right everywhere. It doesn't have to be in the music therapy field, it can be in any field. And burnout is so terrifying because it leaves us at our limits. It makes us feel like we're at our last straw or our last thread, you know?
Right.
Um, that's why I feel like it was back when I was working in hospice. I was driving a lot to go see my patients at different facilities before I was working with my own company. And I was starting to experience burnout and I didn't know how to cope with it. And then I learned tools and strategies. And I learned you have to set hours for your working days. You work from a time to time, and then once you're done with your work day, it's time for you. It's time to shower. It's time to decompress. It's time to exercise. It's time to talk to a friend. Anything to make you feel good about yourself. Go out and pamper yourself. Do something that'll make you feel like you're a star, like you're a queen. Give
Mm.
yourself that luxury, because if you don't give yourself the luxury, nobody else will. And, you know, when we're working for others, whether it's in music therapy or physical therapy or any other field, we forget about ourselves sometimes.
Right.
So when you set those working hours and you say, okay, now it's this time, it's now 8 p.m., my workday is done. Let me just unwind with my favorite song, a candle, light a candle, inhale some beautiful scents in my shower, and relax and unwind. Maybe give myself an oil massage for my head. These
Right.
all sound like simple things, but they're so beautiful for relaxing and helping us recover from our burnout.
Yeah, we don't imagine, we can't imagine the amount of impact that small things like you mentioned play.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing those um, tips about burnouts. Talking about tips, can you give us some tips and tricks to overcome stress in today's world?
Yes, like I mentioned before, some tips and tricks are to have those working hours, to
Right.
have a team or a cohort that you can work with, to have a mentor that you can confide in, to have some professionals who can help you with your own self-care. You know, people sometimes are embarrassed to have their own team of professionals that they can talk about their personal problems with. But as a healthcare professional myself, I have my own team. I have my working professionals that I work with. I have my own team of people that take care of my health. I have family and friends. And so all of these play a role as tips and tricks to preventing burnout.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. How do you,
Now I need to learn from you. Go ahead and share what your tips are for burnout and for, preventing any kind of overly exhaustion or fatigue.
I think my tips and tricks are too Gucci.
Go to
I
the bag.
I go shopping when I'm stressed.
Oh, that's a great tool. That's a great therapeutic tool. Yeah. Shopping therapy. Wonderful. How you can find just the right fit of a dress or just the right makeup tool or just the right hair tool, just the right necklace or earring. It sounds like silly. I once met someone who said, I don't want to be a consumer in the shopping industry. But I think in the healthcare professional field for us, or at least as girls, we feel like shopping is such a therapeutic tool.
Agreed.
Yeah,
We give less credit to shopping. It plays
yeah,
a different therapeutic role in our lives. When,
exactly.
especially staying away from home, I have found that I enjoy the comfort of shopping with friends or without friends. Like
Yeah,
just
your
the
own.
act of going out, looking at different things, touching the material. And the second thing is I will call my mom. So she does not allow me to excess shop. So overboard.
Great tool for burnout, definitely. Setting a day aside, just, one day, you're like, I have this day off. I'm even 2 hours. If you have 2 hours to just go do some shopping and imagine that you're rewarding yourself. And it doesn't even have to be for yourself. You can shop for someone else that you love and feel good. You can be like, oh, there's this one person that I really love and I want to buy them something. And you can go ahead and send that to them. Or writing a card, writing a loving note to someone is a great way to relieve burnout too, because it reminds you all the ways that you love and care for that person.
Mhm.
So these are just some tips and tricks for both of us to avoid burnout and for everyone listening.
Definitely. I have also noticed that with shopping, you don't have to always go super Louis Vuitton or just
Yeah.
expensive. You can also find peace with just shopping groceries.
Yeah,
Getting
grocery, yeah. Or you can do bargain deals. Bargain shopping is great.
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I need someone to tell me, hey, you don't need so many apples or you don't need so many candles, so just stop. So I'll
Oh,
have my friend or my mom or someone on call or in person to tell me, okay, you need to stop now.
oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. And when we look at our clients, we would talk about that as impulse control, right?
Right.
So that's why we're training ourselves. We're almost a client for ourselves when we go into the shopping. We become the customer for all these grocery outlets or shopping outlets, and they're treating us with the utmost respect, and we get to receive their positive service. So that's why it's a therapy for us too.
Definitely. I agree
Yeah.
with you. How do you approach music therapy? How do you see music as, how does it play a part in your life?
Music therapy is a very close part to my heart. It's my passion, it's my purpose. When I wake up and I know I have a session to go to, whether it's a music therapy group or whether it's a yoga group, because I also do music and movement, or whether it's a vocal lesson, whatever it is that I wake up and go to, that's my driving purpose and passion. It keeps me going. And will the session always be fruitful and productive? No. Sometimes there'll be tough moments, and that's okay. But as long as we know we're giving our best and we're putting in our best heart and our unconditional positive regard, then that can keep us going. So yes, music therapy is very close to me, and it plays an important role in my life.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear. And I can see when you're talking about music, your eyes just light up. I can see the passion and the love for music in your eyes. So that's amazing.
We don't want to become workaholics where it's the only thing. So that's why we have to set those boundaries and limits to avoid burnout, like we talked about.
Right. I
Yeah,
tell you the same thing. When I'm making patients exercise, I feel joy. They tell
yeah,
me, we can see that in your eyes, that you
yeah,
feel the joy to torture us. I'm like, yes. But
yeah.
when you also see them progress and you see them do well, that's a different kind of joy that no one can experience except
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
Ever have situations where the client or customer is unhappy or they're in pain or there's no progress? And if that's the case, how do you perceive your field at that point? Does it become more of a burden for you, or is it something you're able to overcome and say, no, this is a challenge we can work through together?
I I'm a very analytical person. I like to analyze, so I'll take a step back. I have also learned with so much experience that everybody is different, every action is different, and if squats are amazing for me, maybe it could not be so effective for you, or it could be effective but it will take time. So
Mhm.
number one, I'll be patient myself, because the patient gets to be impatient and they get to freak out because they're going through pain. They're going through something that I cannot understand or relate. So I
Mhm.
have to be patient. I will look back and see where we're lacking, what's going on. We'll start doing more tests, special tests that we call, and I'll start checking every muscle and seeing if I have covered everything. And it's upsetting, definitely, when you see that you're trying to help someone with all your heart and that person is still in pain. It's very upsetting, but that has never stopped me. That's only inspired me more, pushed me more towards getting the pain away from the patient. So I think that's how I have approached uh, the challenges.
Wow, that's a beautiful answer, very heartwarming. I agree with you. Patience is a key. It's the virtue to help us overcome whatever the challenge or hurdle is with the client. If I have a customer or a client who's going through a meltdown, which has happened, I
Mhm.
take a step back. I look at it and I say, what can we do differently? How can we approach them to remember the primary goal is stress relief and relaxation? Right? Which has happened with some of my kiddos. Sometimes the parents and we all join together and we're putting pressure on them. And we have to be like, wait a minute, slow it down a little bit. Let them just enjoy and relax the presence, the unconditional positive regard. That all makes a difference in helping them to feel healthier and better.
Do you enjoy treating kids and being with kids?
Oh, yes, I love children. Secretly in my heart of hearts, I've adopted all these children as my. But I know there are boundaries. That's where the working boundaries and limits come into play. So I started off just as a small company working with just one child, and
Right.
then built up to 20 plus children and many customers and many clients. And some clients have stayed many years with me and they've been grateful and they've made a lot of progress. And other clients have come and gone. And we've had a beautiful relationship temporarily, and then they leave and maybe they'll come back in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember this one client back during COVID lockdown when I was working at the studio. She
Yeah.
entered the studio and she was a young girl, maybe 6 or 7, with special needs. And she looks in the studio and she says, oh, this is a safe place. I can be happy here. And we made up a song about fairies to the melody of bingo, and she would sing it so happily. And it brought me so much joy to work with her. It brought my mom to tears,
Yeah.
her mom was in tears to see her daughter participate at that level. And we wanted to work longer, but then they had to move. That's one-on-one. I have many favorite one-on-one clients, but that just happens to be one of my favorite one-on-one clients. And I
Yeah.
have case studies and stories to share if you're ever interested in hearing.
Definitely, I would be more than happy. You know, I'm a talker. Well, I love you so much already.
Oh,
We're gonna be talking a lot.
Oh, thank you so much, Bhavna. That's so sweet of you. I'm glad you fell in love with me already.
Definitely, you sang the song. That was I was. You had my heart there.
Oh, thank you, Bhavna. You're so sweet. I hope we get to meet in person one day, if
Yes,
that's in the cards for us.
yes, definitely. I
Um,
think that in future I have a few friends in California. They're physical therapists. They're practicing there.
oh, wow.
They keep telling me, they keep bribing me. They're like, okay, what do you want? Well, what will it take for you to just come here? So,
Wow.
I don't know.
That's amazing. Okay, cool. So now I need to bribe you too.
I think just looking at one kid of yours, I'll be like, okay, I'm on my way.
Love to share. I have so many saved video
Yeah,
snippets, clips of my kiddos in different sessions. Am I able to share on Insta? Oh, no. HIPAA confidentiality. I can't share any of them with you.
yes,
But you can see some snippets with me and my kiddos on my YouTube channel, Ranjani Music Therapy.
yeah.
And I have a couple of clips on there. So that's always interesting.
But
And
if
then
the patient and if the parents have signed the consent form, then we should be good.
yeah, definitely. For the YouTube videos they have, but not for all the videos that I have saved to my phone. So
Right.
that's why I keep it saved. But they're very special moments, all those video clips.
I know I have the same. My phone is filled with everyone dancing,
Oh,
and when we have our little moments, then we'll just take a picture. I actually just posted a few days back a wall. So when just before I went to India, they all decorated. We have a wall of memories. So we take a picture and we'll put it on the wall as a
oh,
memory. And they our front desk and our reception, they decorated the whole wall so beautifully as a
oh.
gift for me before I left for India. So
That's so sweet. That reminds me, even before my music therapy days, I was working just as a music volunteer straight out of undergrad from UC Berkeley,
right.
and working at a school district doing music lessons, music sessions or lessons with my kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a class of 30 students. Well, at the end of the year, they all wrote beautiful cards, and I still have those cards saved. I took those cards with me to my first year of grad school and I posted them on my apartment wall living in Philadelphia. I was in Temple University, then University of Kentucky. So in Temple in my first year, I posted all those cards from all my kiddos from that music class at the school district, and they reminded me of my love for music and my love for children. So I understand where you're coming from, a wall of beautiful memories.
Yeah, that talking about memories and music, is it okay if you play us another song?
Sure, I'd love to play another song.
Thank
Okay.
you.
How about a jazz tune?
Let's do it.
Okay, great. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Well, your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up, sing, sing, sing. Yeah, you'll spread your wings and take to the sky. Hey, but till that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With Mama and Papa, they're standing by. Let's do some scatting, Bob, and repeat after me. Ba-da-da-da,
Ba da da da,
ba-da-da-da,
ba da da da,
ba-ba-ba-ba, ba 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 ba.
I won't be able to do that.
You can do it. I believe in you. Ba ba da 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 ba da da ba ba da da
Ba ba da da.
ba da 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 da. Good, very nice. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping from the company's high. Well, your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. Oh, so don't you cry. So sing it with me now. Hush, little baby.
Little baby,
Don't you
don't you
cry.
cry.
Beautiful, Bobby.
I have always been so conscious about my singing.
I understand that. That's why I say some people who come into music therapy, whether it's a vocal lesson or a music therapy session, they automatically have stress and anxiety and self-consciousness about their voice. Will I be on pitch? Will my voice be shaky? Will it be steady? Will it be loud enough? And that's where I just want them to have fun. I want them to get into the joy of communicating back and forth with the music, improvising, expressing themselves so that they can let go of their stressors about music and feel less self-conscious and less stressed. And you're glowing after singing with me.
I know. I love it. But I feel like if there was a bathroom singer award for the worst bathroom singer, I would get it.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You sang beautifully with me just now. It was so lovely.
Thank
How did
you.
how did it feel in your heart to listen, which we call as passive participation, versus singing, which we call as active participation? What was the difference for you?
I think uh, both gave me joy,
Okay.
definitely. But like you said, the subconscious, you're conscious about your voice, you're conscious that you may be high pitched, low pitched, So that, I think that played a role. But just listening to you was sheer joy for sure.
Thank you so much. So you enjoyed both active and passive.
Yes.
That's important to know because sometimes we as professionals, we expect a response, or even the parent expects a response. They expect a participation. And we have to remind ourselves to relax and say passive participation is beautiful too. Just relaxing, just listening, you know?
Yeah, that plays a big role to just
Mhm.
uh, not a lot of people find that same joy with, and I have seen a few people who don't find the same joy with music also. So
Yeah.
I understand that, and it takes time for everyone to be open to the concept of therapy with music.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Agreed. And going back to the point, not everyone enjoys music. You can't force it on anyone. Same with PT. People try it out, it works for them or it doesn't work for them. And we have to be able to let go and understand our limits.
definitely. How do
Yeah.
you approach patients who are reluctant, or it's very new, music therapy as a whole is very new concept to them?
Yeah. I've had a client reach out, book a session, share all about their child, and then cancel. That happened once.
Yeah,
And I didn't take it personally. I just assumed that I was able to help them in that journey through the phone consult. And at that point, they didn't need me any further. But they're still in my heart. And so not forcing it on them. And I've had one client, and this client became very close to me. We both developed a beautiful bond. At first in the assessment, he was in tears, he was crying, he was anxious. And we were all concerned that we were forcing it on him. And then I just explored with the parent, look, music doesn't have to be something that he participates in. It doesn't have to be something that he has to do. We can say goodbye if it's not meant to happen. And the parent understood and she respected that. And she said, well, let's try the assessment of follow-up. Let's give it another try. We gave it another try. He was bright and happy as ever. He began to sing. He began to make song requests. He began to open up and participate and play the different instruments, from the tone bars to the glockenspiel to the piano to the harp. So it just is amazing to see how some people, they respond, they eventually open up and they flourish in music therapy. And other people, if they don't, that's okay. You can say goodbye and you don't have to pressure them. And that's okay.
Right. The approach is very, since music therapy is very new, what do you think about the industry and the growth in the industry?
Yeah, music therapy has been around, I want to say maybe 40, 50 years, since World War One or World War Two. I wouldn't say it's very new because I have a mentor. She's the one who introduced me to music therapy. She's probably 80 years old now. She was working up until last year, 2 years ago. And she was working many years as a music therapist, especially with hospice patients. And she represents probably the previous generation of music therapists. And so because she introduced me to the field and helped me to fall in love with it, I wouldn't say it's very new. I would say it's been around for some time. Um, but at the same time, if you look at it and compare it to the medical profession, like doctors have been around much longer, and not all of them are aware of music therapy. They're like, "What is that?" They're like, "Are you going to teach me a song?" And I'm like, "It can be educational if you want it to be. That can be one of the therapeutic goals, is learning, because learning is good for our brains too. It helps us with our memory. It helps us with our alertness. It helps us with our confidence." So that's why I say, yes, it's relatively new, but not that new. And I always advocate for it with whoever I'm talking with, whoever I'm speaking with. I always say, well, it can be a part of your life and it can be something that we both enjoy together.
Right. That
Yeah.
makes that makes complete sense. Like for physical therapy is very, I would say it's very new, and we're still finding out things that are new to the field that
Mhm.
know, okay, we've been using this technique for years, but it has no role in physical therapy. So that's how evolving physical therapy is. So it's so amazing to see the field grow and the growth in that particular field. So I'm so happy to hear that you had a mentor. Is she your mentor, or do you have another mentor?
She is still my mentor. 10 years later, I started music therapy, my graduate degree, in 2012. It's now 2023, so it's been 11 years. She's still my mentor. She's still my friend. I recently sold one of my CDs. Let me just show you one of my CDs that I did at a recording studio.
Yeah.
This is one of my CDs.
Wow.
I don't know. So
Exciting.
I recently sold her one of my CDs and she was so sweet and so supportive. When I started my YouTube channel, she was so sweet and supportive about that too. And yeah, it's nice to be part of a field where music therapists support each other. We have meetings, Bay Area music therapy meetings with another longtime music therapist. I don't get to always attend those because I'm working on those days. But she's also been a good mentor in my life too, that other music therapist.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
you've always been blessed with good mentors and teachers. That's good to know.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Always grateful for the good people around us.
Yeah, definitely. I have a few friends in India who are, like I mentioned to you, they are looking forward to introduce music therapy as a part of their therapy and a part of their practice. Any suggestions for people who are in the industry and are looking to start their own business?
Oh, definitely. People who are interested in becoming music therapists in India,
Mhm.
I might know some of them because I'm part of the South Asian Music Therapy group on WhatsApp.
Oh,
Um, Yeah, which do you happen to know their names?
I know Nikita. They're from Pune. The Nikita Murkute. I don't know if they're on the group, but
Oh,
I have a few
just
juniors.
invite them to the group. We have a head music therapist. I wouldn't say she's the head, but she's the one who created the group. Her name is Sangeeta, Dr. Sangeeta. And she is a music therapist here who teaches as a professor. And yeah, she loves all the music therapists all around the country. There's maybe 10 or 15 of us. And for those who want to open a practice in India, I would say definitely start small, believe in yourself, don't give up, and then work your way up. And that's just my approach. I know some people start big, they open an office right away, they post advertisements, they do it all big stuff. But me, I just started small. You know, I created a card, I created a website. I can show you my card.
Yes.
Just a simple card. And start off, you know, with a business card with the title of a company, your credentials, your name, your website, and ask a friend if you need help from a friend or another healthcare professional to help you build your website. And then in terms of getting yourself known, do something like a YouTube video or an Instagram, like what we're doing right now, an Instagram Live. That's how people get to know you. So that's what I would recommend for your friends in India, like Nikita. All the best to her.
Thank you so much. If it's possible, if they can join I have a few juniors as well. They would love to be a part of the group, and if they can learn more and just connect more, that would be awesome.
Definitely, yeah. You can just text me and I'll connect them to the South Asian Music Therapy Group.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Towards the end of the session, is there a way that you would like to end, any words that you would like to say, or any song that you would like to sing, anything that you would like to do?
It depends. What are you in the mood for? Are you in the mood for something spiritual to close with? Like maybe a prayer or a song that's spiritual from Hindu culture? Or would you like what we were talking about earlier, a relaxation with the wind chimes?
Anything. That's up to you. I'm in mood for both. Can we do both?
Okay, let's see how time goes. We'll start off with a relaxation. Everyone can participate at their own comfort level. We've got here the wind chimes, and I'll just gently introduce us. Begin by sitting comfortably in your chair, feet grounded to the floor, back reclined or relaxed against the chair if needed. Gently close your eyes and begin to breathe in and breathe out. And 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 breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in peace and breathing out stress. And breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Gently rolling your head in circles, relaxing your neck muscles. And breathe in and breathe out. Gently relaxing your shoulders, rolling your shoulders back. Sending love and light to your heart and to your chest area. Sending positive energy to your back and to your spine, helping it to ground and support you in your chair. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Sending positive energy down your hips, down your pelvis, down your thighs and your knees and calves and shins, all the way to your ankles and feet, wiggling your toes with positivity and breathing out your stress and toxins from the day. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Begin to gently roll your wrists in circles, unwinding any stress from your wrists, interlacing your fingers and stretching your hands out. And lift your hands up to the sky, Bhavna. Bring your hands together to your heart. And take one final deep breath in and deep breath out as you begin to gently open your eyes and reorient yourself to your surroundings.
I don't have any words. That was magical.
Thank you.
Truly magical. Thank you for this experience. I have never experienced anything like that.
Wow, you're so kind, Bhavna. I'm so touched that you experienced it in a positive light.
Definitely. You are a ray of sunshine. You know, just looking at you, I feel like, okay, everything is gonna be okay and things will be better now on, and just the sunshine I can see bright, and this was so peaceful. This was so good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Can I ask some follow-up questions like I might ask a client after doing a relaxation?
Definitely. Please go ahead.
Okay, so where did you feel the relaxation most in your body?
I think in my breathing.
In your breathing?
Yes.
Okay. Did your inhalation feel calmer or your exhalation feel calmer?
My exhalation.
Exhalation. You breathed out through your mouth?
No.
Through your nose.
Oh,
Okay.
I did breathe out through my mouth.
Oh, through your mouth. Okay, nice.
I do the pursed lip breathing technique that we ask our patients to do to increase the
Oh,
lung capacity.
yes, please do share about that.
So you
Ah,
inhale from your nose and exhale from your mouth, making a pursed lip. Or
oh yeah. We call that the straw breath too. Breathing in through the nostril, breathing out through the mouth like this, like a straw.
it helps expand and relax the chest, and the lungs are most effective and most efficient while breathing in this technique.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, see, you're already an expert on breathing and relaxation.
From the best.
I'm so glad you found me. I'm glad we met. I wish you a wonderful Sunday.
Like,
Do you have any other questions? Do you want to know anything else more about me or my work?
that's the things that you shared was so amazing. I'm so happy that I connected with you and we got an opportunity to work here. And I am going to be texting you for more upcoming things that I have planned, and we will discuss more definitely. If our followers and people, if they want to reach out to you, where's the best place they can find you and how do they find you?
Oh, great question, Bhavna. I have a website. I'll write it down right now in the comments.
Mhm.
It's hwmtherapy.com. That's my website. So if they want to contact me for services, they can reach out to hwmtherapy.com. If they'd like to follow me on YouTube, they can subscribe to my channel, Ranjani Music Therapy. And they can also find me on Facebook at Healing and Wellness Music Therapy.
Mhm. That's perfect. Thank you for the information. Thank you for the session, for taking the time out and speaking with me. This is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thank you for inviting me. It's been an honor to be on your talk show. Thank you for all the good work you do as a physical therapist. Keep up the good work. And don't forget to get in those ZZZs, okay? It's important.
Okay, for sure. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday.
You too. Have a great Sunday. Bye. Bye.
Thank you for listening to our talk about health. You can follow me on Instagram at bhavna.devnani, on Facebook at bhavna devnani, and we'll leave all the information in the description below. Thank you.